Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the It Girl Mindset. Today, we're diving into something that has just been on my mind recently, and it's all about the power of duality. I don't know if you guys have seen that trend. It was kind of going around maybe like a couple months ago. It was like the feminine urge to do and be everything. And I just loved that trend so much. And this duality in being anything that you want to be has been coming up a lot in my life. And I just kind of wanted to share some thoughts on this. Also, at the end of this episode, we'll dive into kind of some life updates. I saw a girl do this on her YouTube channel where she called it After Hours. And so I want to call this like After Hours with Ash. So we'll do that at the end of some podcast episodes where I'll just go into more life updates and everything like that. So let's get into it. Welcome to the It Girl Mindset, where I help you step into the next level version of yourself by mastering your mindset, manifesting your deepest desires, and connecting deeply with your body. It's about becoming the most authentic, radiant, unapologetic, and unbothered version of yourself. Together, we're going to chat about how to unlock your true potential and create a life that feels as good as it looks. If you're ready to become the healthiest, hottest, and most abundant version of yourself, you're in the perfect place. Let's get into it. So again, what really prompted this episode was I was talking to my mentor about how one thing that I love about myself is the duality that I have. Because I've been really stepping into like my fashion girl era. I've always loved clothes, but even when I was younger, I thought I was going to grow up to be a fashion designer. That's genuinely what I thought. But then I realized I'm not that good at drawing. So the thoughts and the ideas in my brain never came out on paper. So anyways, that's a whole other story. But I love fashion. I love dressing cute. And it's something I'm really passionate about. But I kind of lost that part of me for a while because in my brain, I was like, well, I'm the health and fitness girl. I need to wear workout sets and blah, 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 right? Like I put myself in this box, and I think we all do that sometimes where we put ourselves in this box of I can't be this because I'm this, right? I can't be posting about fashion because I'm a wellness girly, right? I can't be a gym rat because I'm a Pilates girly. I don't know, especially that one in particular has been coming up for me where I really have been in my brain like, no, I need to be a Pilates girly. Like that's what I said I was. So I need to go to Pilates. Strength training isn't like good for me or whatever the stories that we make up in our head. But I want to tell you this, like I'm telling myself this, is that you can be all things. You can be the Pilates girly and the gym rat girly, right? And the unique combination of all of these things is what makes us, right? It makes you, it makes me. And again, I was getting so in my head about this, thinking that I needed to be one thing and am not allowed to be another. But again, I think the beautiful thing about learning about yourself and being your authentic self is that you get to be everything, right? I talk a lot about identity work on here where you pick an identity and you create your identity, and that is a great way to be able to level up because you ask yourself, okay, right, like who is this person I want to be? Maybe it is a Pilates girly, right? So then you write out all the, attributes this Pilates girl has, what she wears, what she does, what her personality is like, how she makes other people feel, right? And I think that's really, really powerful because you can start to show up as her. But what's even more powerful is creating your unique identity, because we can put ourselves in a box if we do it the other way, where we just think about one thing. And again, I even fall into this trap where it's like, like I said I'm a gym rat, or I said I'm a Pilates girly, so I can't go strength training, when it's like, wait, no, we need to follow our intuition, follow our authentic blueprint and who we are and what's feeling good in the moment. Even for me, sometimes I like to go to Pilates, sometimes I like to strength train. Right now, I'm kind of in my strength training era. I've been loving it, right? And I was thinking about this too in terms of like who I am as a person. Also, as a side note, I do podcast episodes where I plan them out a bit more. And then I have some podcast episodes where I just kind of like word vomit and let whatever comes to my mind come out. And this is one of those. So if this is not perfectly crafted, that's why I feel like sometimes I need a little bit more structure with what I'm talking about, and other times I'm like, this just came to me in an intuitive ping and I just need to let the words flow out. So that's what this one is. So I apologize if it's not the most like organized podcast episode ever, and kind of what I said at the beginning of the episode, where one thing I love about myself is how many different things I am, how many different fashion senses, like how many different activities that I love. Because, for example, one thing I'm working on right now is my dark feminine energy. And my pole classes align deeply with that. I took my first heels class the other day and I was so nervous. I felt like an imposter, honestly. And I think I also had all these other societal conditionings of what would people think of me. And I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to go and show up and do the best that I can. And I just felt so sexy. I felt just so in my body. I felt so confident in my body. And so I can be that version of me. And I can also be this bright, bubbly version of myself, wearing bright colors and laughing and having fun, right? I also love wake surfing. I love wakeboarding. I love snowboarding. But I also love having a slow morning and drinking matcha and taking Instagram pictures and being more girly, right? I love the gym. I also love Pilates. You know, I love to be this productive, like CEO energy, founder energy. I also love my soft girl, again, like slower mornings where I'm just like vibing and reading. And even yesterday, I had planned to get a chunk of work done, but my body was just like craving the slower feminine energy of reading outside with a sparkly water, going downtown and shopping around. We can be everything. We can be anything. We don't have to put ourselves in this box. And that's what I really wanted to get across with this episode is you can be everything. You can be whatever you want to be. You can be a CrossFit girly and also take ballet classes, right? Like this duality can exist. And I don't want you to put yourself in a box thinking that you need to be a certain way, right? Life is so amazing if you allow it to be. And again, I truly believe that what makes us unique is our likes and dislikes and all of these things that we want to do, be, and have, right? I am in this place right now where I'm just leaning into everything that brings me joy, right? That is wake surfing, that's golf, pole dancing. I also love writing. I also love reading fiction. I also love podcasting, obviously. It's like my favorite thing ever. But again, we can be all of these things. You don't have to put yourself in a box. So I just want to ask you this question. Where are you holding yourself back because of the shoulds? I should be this or I should be that. This person thinks I'm this, so I have to be that, right? I just want you to get very curious and just ask yourself that. Where are you putting yourself in a box? Where are you holding yourself back when there's something that you probably want to do? Even, I feel like a lot of women struggle with this, and this is something that I've thought about a lot because, again, there's duality here. Two truths can exist at the same time. I love hobbies. I love wakeboarding and wake surfing, like I said. I love pole dancing. There is this part of me that's always scared to start new and try new things. I like to be good at things, and so it's kind of like this struggle at the beginning of looking silly but also wanting to learn something new. And that's why I totally understand for people with hobbies, especially when it comes to like wake surfing, wakeboarding, a little bit more, I don't even want to add, I guess, intense of hobbies. I also get scared to look silly with whatever I'm learning, even pole dancing, right? I started this 7 months ago. I was so scared to look silly. I was scared to be bad. And I also just, as a retired professional dancer, I was like, people are going to have these preconceived notions of me. Oh my gosh, what are they going to think if they don't think I actually look like I was a professional dancer, right? All of these things swarming in my head. And I guarantee not a single person was actually thinking about this. It was only me. But I say this because I think a lot of us women can hold ourselves back when we have these feelings of, oh, I don't want to wakeboard because I'm going to look silly, or they're going to have to turn the boat around. I've actually heard this from friends that I've taken before. They're like, no, I just want to sit on the boat. It's not because they didn't want to learn. It's because they're afraid of looking silly. They're afraid of being too much, or that people are going to have to put so much effort in teaching them, right? It's all of these stories that we tell ourselves that hold us back from actually doing the things that we want to do. So if you want to go learn to snowboard, go take a snowboarding lesson. If you want to be a podcaster, order a microphone and just start recording yourself. If you want to start posting content, start posting content, right? Again, I want you to stop thinking about what other people are thinking of you and just do what actually sounds fun to you, right? Who would you be if you let go of these fears and these insecurities and these limiting beliefs? Who would you be? What would you do, right? Would you go take a pole dancing class? Would you go take a pottery class? Would you, go start a TikTok and post about your fashion? Or maybe you have another secret talent or something, right? Like, who do you want to be and what do you want to do? Okay? Don't put yourself in a box, because I truly believe we are put here, well, a couple reasons: to experience all the emotions, but also to learn who we are deep at our core. And I believe that the only way you can learn who you are is if you try things and follow what's in here and what's in here. Actually, probably don't follow what's in your head, because a lot of times we can overthink, and that's where the fears and insecurities, right? Follow your intuition. Get quiet with yourself so you can actually try new things, okay? Did I think I was ever going to be a pole dancer? Absolutely not. Especially I remember seeing pole dancing on social media and I was like, ugh. I put societal conditioning, who do these girls think they are? Blah, 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 blah. And then I go and take a pole dancing class and I'm like, holy shit, this is so fun. I'm so empowered. I love dancing again, right? You will never know unless you actually go try things, okay? So if there's something in your brain that's like, ooh, that sounds like kind of fun, or ooh, this keeps popping up in my head and I don't know why, explore it. Go try it. Go do it, right? Go be it. Even for me, it's so interesting because I feel like right now in my life, I am in the most aligned, I'm the most aligned version of me I've ever been, because I've really gotten to know myself. I'm really starting to listen to my intuition and follow those intuitive pings. Even with fashion and this clothing and posting as an influencer, right? I've had a fear of that because I felt like I needed to provide some sort of tip or insight or whatever it may be, and just posting fun clothes. I'm like, well, what value am I providing? And so I had to work through that. And even still, I go to post just pictures on social media and I'm like, ugh. But I do it anyways, right? I do it anyways. I don't let the fear hold me back. I do it anyways, even if I feel silly, even if I feel like I'm not valuable and who does she think she is? I have all these feelings. I just do it anyway. And that's how you actually grow and get out of your comfort zone. And as you do that, the easier it will be. And again, like I said, sorry, I keep getting distracted with a thought, and then I want to circle back to this, but fashion has just been popping up in my head and I don't know why. I was kind of like, what does this mean? And I have always known when I was younger, I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll get a coloring book of clothes and just kind of color it out, right? Or maybe draw. And then I would kind of it would pop in my head. And then I'm like, yeah, I want to dress cuter, but I don't I just didn't know what it meant. And then finally, now that I am really truly understanding that the influencer side of me is coming out a bit more. I love fashion. I love posting about fashion. I love dressing cute. I love shopping, all of those things. And so now I understand that's it's actually a part of my identity. It's part of who I am. But because I was so stuck on I need to be a Pilates girly, right? I completely blocked out the part of me that is actually this fashionista that I love. And I think it's so fun. I'm just telling you all of this because I want you to have the freedom to be whoever you want to be. And even if the two parts of you don't necessarily make sense, they're parts of you for a reason. So get quiet and start to listen to your intuition. Stop having podcasts on 24/7. Stop scrolling on social media while you're in the bathroom. Go in the shower and don't listen to music, or maybe music is fine, but like just allow yourself to just think and be with yourself. That's when those intuitive pings will come in. And building a relationship with your intuition it takes practice, honestly. You have to listen and follow through, and then you'll be like, oh wow, this is why this was in my brain, right? Even for me, the whole fashion thing honestly has been going on for a couple years. And I've just kind of been ignoring it. I've been like, okay, yeah, like, I don't know what this means. Yeah, I like dressing cute, but like, okay, what more? Like, this isn't providing value to other people, when it's like, no, it's actually providing value to me though, right? It's fun for me. Again, trust with your intuition. If you're like, I don't have any thoughts, it's because you've been ignoring it. They're there, but they get quieter and quieter. And so now your intuition is like, okay, you have to get quieter now. Prove to me that you want to actually hear yourself and your thoughts and your intuition. I say this all the time, but your desires are your direction. If you're like, ooh, I kind of want to surf. It's actually, every time I talk out loud and I don't have anything planned, I feel like it's like a therapy session for me. I've always wanted to be a surfer girl, but I'm honestly kind of afraid of the ocean and sharks and stuff like that. But anyways, I've always kind of wanted to be this surfer girl. And again, just another part of my identity. And I guess I kind of am because of wake surfing, but I don't know. I always saw myself like a version of me living in San Diego, like waking up early and surfing every morning. I think that maybe eventually that will be part of my identity. But if surfing sounds fun to you and that's in your brain and it keeps popping up and you're like, that's so weird, I don't know why this keeps popping up in my brain. Kind of sounds fun, but I'm also kind of scared. That's your intuition. If something is popping up in your head over and over and over again, that's your intuition being like, hey, girl, you should probably try this. You're going to love it. Go have fun. You build trust with yourself when you start to follow those intuitive pings. And to hear the intuitive pings, you have to get quiet. It's so hard to actually listen to your intuition if you have constant stimulation, right? If you're walking to the bathroom scrolling, you're not following your intuition. If you're listening to a podcast on a walk, your brain's distracted. It's listening. It's paying attention, right? You're not going to have intuitive pings. That's why everybody says, oh, when you're in the shower, that's when you always have these like amazing ideas. That's because, I hope you don't have a phone in the shower, but that's one of the very few times that you're actually quiet and with yourself. So listen to those things. The pings, the random thoughts in your brain, they're there for a reason, okay? Follow those and you'll be so surprised at how quickly you become your authentic self. Okay, I think I got my point across with that. Again, just as a reminder, you can be whoever you want to be. Go take a pottery class. That's another thing. Me and my mom have wanted to do it for so long. We're going to go, I got that for her birthday. We're going to go to a pottery class. It's going to be so fun. But if there's something in your brain that keeps popping up, follow that, okay? That wraps up this portion of the episode. I'm going to go into Ash After Hours. After Hours with Ash? It's kind of hard to say. But anyways, just kind of like a life update I wanted to touch on. I am going through a huge identity upgrade right now. Again, this whole duality conversation came up with my mentor because it's something that I kind of was trying to shut down. I'm like, no, I need to be this one thing. But I almost feel like me up-leveling in my identity is like, whoa, no, yes, this is who you're supposed to be, right? I have this like dark feminine energy that is very founder-esque, as well as like my pole dancer, like heels, dark feminine energy coming out there, my productivity, but I'm also kind of in my soft girl discipline era where I'm showing up, I'm doing the things, but I'm also creating space in my day, space for my intuition to come through, space for rest. And like I said, I've never felt more in alignment than I am right now. And so it feels really good, honestly. I feel like I had been fighting my intuition for the last couple years, just fighting and trying to make something work that wasn't working. And anyways, now that I'm in this alignment, I'm starting a new business venture. It's so interesting though, because all other businesses that I've created, I am like, let's go 150% like energy every single day. Wake up, work, like just so intense. And I don't want to do it that way again. I feel like I lost part of myself while I was doing that. And now that I feel so in alignment, I'm not willing to give up my happiness, my health, my freedom that I have in my day to day. I'm not willing to give that up. And this is what your intuition is. This next business, which I'll be able to share more hopefully soon, but your intuition is like this quiet voice. And that's what I feel even right now. I can literally feel, so when my intuition is like a full body, yes, I have like these tinglies up here in my chest, and it's happening right now. When it's a no, I get like this pit in my stomach, gut feeling. But this next business, it's almost like this quiet voice just being like, yes, like this is it. You don't need to rush it because it's going to change the world. And it feels so exciting. There's also this part of me though that's like, Ashley, you haven't been like grinding. Why aren't you like working day in and out to do this? That's just my ego trying to prove my worth. And I'm not going to do that this time. I actually just wrote my first Substack on this. If you want to check it out, you should. I genuinely love writing. And also, again, so funny that I love writing because growing up in school, I hated anything creative. I only wanted to do math and science. Like that was like the logical, there's one right answer. That's what I used to love. Never thought I was creative. And now I'm like obsessed with writing, and probably one day I'm going to write a book. So I don't know. It's just interesting. But anyways, learning to trust my intuition has given me this, just trust. And again, with this next business, it's completely different than anything I've ever done. I have so much trust in it because it's like, again, this quiet energy that's just coming to my mind, and I'm not rushing. I'm not trying to go a bajillion miles an hour. I'm not Alex Hormozy, okay? Like I want to enjoy my life and have fun, enjoy every single day while also changing the world and making a huge impact, right? And again, this alignment and being able to be all things. Like I'm going golfing today. I'll probably strength train tomorrow. Maybe I'll do an at-home Pilates the next day, right? I'm going to pole dance on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm probably going to put on a cute outfit and have my boyfriend take pictures of me, right? So we can be all these things. And I truly believe to get into alignment, you need to follow your joy and your desires, right? And I feel like I'm doing that more than ever now. The last life update I wanted to talk about is I've been feeling so good in my body. I'm getting in the best shape of my life. I've talked about this on the Soft Girl Discipline era, on my Soft Girl Discipline episode, but I have just been really conscious of my hunger and fullness cues. I'm really leaning into plants and whole foods immensely. I'm not restricting myself in any way. Like if I want to eat dessert, I'm going to eat dessert, but I'm making sure that I'm eating till I'm not like overly full. And honestly, I feel so good in my body. I also have been working out more. Again, I'm not fighting myself of should I do strength or Pilates. I'm just doing what I want to in the moment, whether I go to the gym or I do an at-home Pilates workout or go to, the Pilates studio that I go to, which I haven't gone in a while, but so I've just been feeling so good. I also think really leaning into this month of September, I'm focusing on my dark feminine energy. It's just making me feel more powerful and more confident in myself. And taking that heels class, the pole heels class, I didn't want to do it at first, but Haley, the studio owner, she's one of my good friends now, and I told her I was like genuinely scared. And she just, every limiting belief that I had in my brain, she just was like, nope. She like swatted away. She's like, nope. And so I signed up for it and I went, and it was such a vibe, you guys. Like the studio at night, because it was, the class was at like 6:45. That's the first time I've ever taken a class there when it's been dark out. And she has all these cool lights and the music. The teacher, Haley, wasn't teaching at that class, but The teacher was amazing. Like, it was such a vibe. I felt so free and confident in my skin, even though heels is something new and they're 8 inches, okay? This is not like a little bit of a heel. Like, even when I was a 49er cheerleader, we wore heels, but nothing like this. And so even I had some Bambi moments where I literally, like, my heel gave out and I just like almost fell, but I like, you were holding on, you have a pole right there, which is comforting, so you can just grab on. But yeah, I was very out of my comfort zone, and now I feel like I have this whole other next level version of me unlocked that is just so confident, and I feel so powerful, and I just feel so clear on where I'm going. Also, with this business, I have kind of meetings lined up with people that I need to talk to about this, and yeah, I'm just feeling really good. But I will say I put in the work to get here. I put in the work to get here. I did the deep work. I did the shadow work. I understand my emotions. Me and my boyfriend even went through a shadow work course that I went through, but he also did it with me this time. It was a couples version. And so I'm putting in the work, okay? I'm working on my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health. I'm doing it, even though I have some intense things in my family going on right now. But I'm choosing to take care of myself on a very deep level. Anyways, that was a lot. Let me know if you like these Ash After Hours, because I love to talk about the things that I'm working through right now. But I also don't want to bore you if you don't really care about that. So please let me know in the comments if you love the Ash After Hours and just kind of like life updates, what I'm working on, what I'm going through. So, okay, my loves, thank you so much for being here. If you have not already, the 6-week Soft Girl Discipline Reset is in the description below. It's completely free. I created a whole Notion dashboard. You have daily nutrition goals. You get a nutrition cheat sheet, mindset tools, a habit tracker that you can customize. There's also 15 full workouts in there on top of weekly check-ins where you can put progress photos, okay? I'm using this for me, which is why I'm getting in the best shape of my life. So you should use it too. The link is down in the description below. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for being here and just listening to me yap in your ear or on your screen. I absolutely love podcasting. And if you want to support this growing community, it would mean the world if you rated and reviewed the show. On Spotify, you can just click the stars at the top. If you want to give a written review, which would be so helpful on Apple Podcasts, there's a link down in the description below to write a written review as well. Please, if you would love to share any insights or share it on your story and tag me at Ashley Roberts, I would absolutely love that. Okay, my love, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode.